Amanda Morton, and I'm mom to Ian.
Yeah, I'm Ian Warren.
What are some of your hobbies?
Some of my hobbies are playing games, Legos, and film.
Film class
film
right
class.
now, and he's been learning how to do like stop motion and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep. My passion's stop motion. Doing all the stop motion all the time.
I work out a lot. I just try to stay busy at home. When the pandemic hit, I stopped working. So the kids started doing virtual learning. So I kind of became mom and teacher. So I don't get a lot of free time, but when I do, it's usually spent working out. We actually just got a van that can accommodate our whole big family. So we live in Phoenix, and we plan on getting in the van when the pandemic's over and driving to San Antonio, Texas, to go to a place called Morgan's Wonderland. And it's like a theme park, water park, specifically for people with wheelchairs and special needs. That's the first thing we want to do. We knew something was wrong when Ian was little, but when we actually finally got the diagnosis, it was just shock. You know, when you find out that you're pregnant, and it's a little boy, you're like, oh, I can't wait for the first T-ball, and I'm going to sign him up for Pop Warner, and all of these things that you're physically going to do with your child, and then you find out that you're not going to, and it's almost like you have to grieve that loss, even though you sort of learn a new normal. But for me, it was just shock and disbelief, and I definitely grieved the loss of my healthy child, because I thought he was, So what about you? What did you think when you first realized you had DMD?
I was disappointed with how my body functioned like it normally did. I mean, how it should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it sucked. I mean, yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, I felt sad, a little sad, upset with my body.
Yeah. I think more hospitals and stuff are testing while we are pregnant, but back when I was pregnant with Ian, they didn't test for DMD, so I had no idea. So he was 4.5, so this was 2009, and I had already had my other son. So my other son was 6 months old, and he was diagnosed first with floppy baby syndrome. So that led us to the doctor, and they ended up doing blood tests on Ian first, which his CPK level came back through the roof, and we knew something was wrong. So Ian was 4.5, and my youngest son was 6 months old when they were both diagnosed at the same time.
My school, it's all moved online. It's been way more difficult. But yeah, I have to put a lot more effort into everything I do in school.
Socially?
Socially, I still socialize. Not as much with my friends because we're all at home. So yeah.
Yeah, you use the computer, and
yes,
he can play Xbox Live with some of his friends too. So that's been his main socialization. It's been all online and all on Xbox.
Yes. Just being judged in public sometimes.
Being judged in public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just stressed out about getting made fun of or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And I think my biggest struggle with DMD has just been the mental toll of just dealing with the everyday things that people just take for granted. Like it's hard. It's rough. It's a lot of work. And I've definitely developed a bit of anxiety just in general about everything. And I think that's all because of DMD. Sure. I know when the boys were in the trial, we had to do a lot of traveling by plane. We would go to Seattle a lot, and we would go to Iowa a lot, and to Florida. This was back when I was a single mom, so it was just me and both the boys. Yeah. And I would call the airport ahead of time to have somebody meet us there with a wheelchair. And this one time, this man saw me pushing Ian in a stroller. It was a medical stroller, but he didn't know that. And then he saw someone else pushing my youngest son in a wheelchair. And he made some really rude comments
Yeah.
to us because he called me lazy. And he called my children lazy because, especially when they were older, it was hard to see the disability because they were still walking but using a stroller. And when you see an 8-year-old in a stroller, I guess you can be judgmental. And I think that man was being very judgmental towards us. But there's been many instances like that, especially pre-wheelchair days, where people would make rude comments to us if they saw us pushing our kid in the stroller. They would call me a bad mom, and they would be like, "Why are you pushing your kid in a stroller?" They just didn't know. And I used to get angry when these comments first started happening, but I started taking that as an opportunity to sort of educate people. I've actually kind of liked being at home because I would worry when the boys were at school all day. I would worry, like, can the nurse really handle this today if something happens? But now that they're at home, I know that I have everything under control. Not that I don't trust them, it's just having them here. I just feel better having them at home. But in other aspects, it's been harder because I had to stop working, and I never get a break, which is also kind of just mentally draining.
It's draining me like socially. I don't have as much social energy as I normally do.
Well, the first 9 months of COVID, I canceled all of their appointments, all of their in-person appointments. And what I could switch to virtual, I did. So we did a lot of their appointments. Well, we did 3 of their appointments virtually until I was comfortable with Arizona's numbers and the COVID cases coming down, because our numbers were pretty high there for a little while. So I kind of let about 9 months go by, and then I scheduled to go see the doctors in person. And it was pretty much normal, except for, they didn't let as many people into the hospital. So when we went there, it was a lot quieter. There wasn't as many people. So I definitely felt safer, but it took us 9 months before we actually went back to the hospital. Probably should have had his leg braces updated in those 9 months, but I didn't want anyone touching him.
Yeah.
I was just paranoid. But also no, because beside the leg braces, they were able to do everything that they could do, because prior to COVID, I stayed on top of their appointments. So we knew where his lung function was and where his heart function was, and we knew it probably hadn't changed too much.
I mean, I see myself as someone that is fully capable as everyone else. I can do things just like everyone else could.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then others would probably see me as someone that is faking whatever
You think?
Yeah, faking being in a wheelchair
Oh,
or something like
I
that.
hope not.
Yeah. I would just feel bad.
Well, I guess for me, it hasn't really affected me negatively. Maybe at first it did, but I mean, seeing what the kids go through, and seeing how some people have reacted negatively, it just makes me stronger, because I've had to come out of my shell, and I've had to get comfortable advocating and sticking up for the kids when I have to, and educating people. And then for the way I view Ian, I mean, he's strong, and so's my other son Jackson. They have no idea how strong they are, because he's 15, but this is his normal. He doesn't know another way of living, so he's strong and he has no idea.
Yeah. I feel support by family and friends, because I have a lot more people that know who I am and why I'm in a wheelchair, and stuff like that.
And how do they support you?
And they support me by standing up for me if someone is like trying to be rude to me, or
Your friends at school do that, right?
or my friends at school stand up for me when I'm getting bullied and stuff like that. Yep.
Yep. And then for me, we've gotten support. You know, I'm in a Facebook group of a lot of other moms like me, and I get a lot of support through them, but also through family. Now I'm here by myself. I don't have any family in Arizona, but my boyfriend of 6 years, his family has really just stepped up and just welcomed all of us with open arms. So my support is like my boyfriend and his family and my Duchenne moms support groups on Facebook.
Yeah, we support each other.
Yeah, I mean, they fight like brothers.
Yes, we do.
But Ian recently found out that he was going to have major back surgery in a few months. And as much as they fight, his brother started crying before him because he was so worried about his brother. So they definitely, you know, it's moments like that where I'm like, see, you guys do love each other. So he was like more upset than Ian about the back surgery, but you know, they've always been next to one another during appointments, and then during the trials, you know, they were getting poked and prodded together. They had muscle biopsies together.
Yeah,
he's a big support.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it would affect my muscles and the way I move around. Yeah, I'm not as strong as others, but yeah, I could still figure out how to get something done when it seems impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, same, you know, he's completely capable. Sure, he's in a wheelchair and he's going to need help, you know, with certain things. And, you know, Duchenne, it affects every kid differently, but Ian's been fortunate enough to where he's very smart. You know, he has future plans.
Yeah.
He's a straight A student. He picked out his college. He knows what he wants to do with his life. ASU.
Yep, ASU.
He's not allowed to leave state. His uncle did computer engineering, so
Yeah.
And he's a computer nerd, so I don't know, maybe computer engineering.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of things I've been wanting to do, probably research or biology.
He's interested in a lot of things. And then when he started taking this film class, it's only his freshman year of high school, but this film class really got him hyped.
Excited, yeah.
So maybe film, I don't know.
I'm also, really good at editing.
Someone who's freshly diagnosed, just to remember to go, I mean, let yourself be sad, you know, but remember not to stay there. You know, you have to get up, and your son will be a warrior. You will be a warrior, and, you know, just take it one day at a time. It's going to be rough at first, but you will definitely fall into a new normal. And, you know, it undoubtedly changes your perspectives about a lot of things, but you just have to remember to, you know, find the positives. And it's hard, but you have to remember to find the positives and to keep fighting for your child.
I would say that you'll still live a great life, and you have a lot of challenges, but you can always overcome them.
Find a clinic who specializes in Duchenne, first of all, because we go to a clinic here. We go to Phoenix Children's Hospital, and they're like a certified Duchenne clinic, and we're able to knock all of our appointments out at once, which is spectacular. Get yourself familiar with Cure Duchenne.
Yep.
That's an organization. Get yourself familiar with Jet Foundation and Parent Project Muscular Dystrophy.
Bye.